Okay, so good morning. How's it going? I'm cold, so I've got this on. We are doing my hair today. If you're new here, my name is Gal, and I am a curly hairstylist. I work in a salon called Curlology in Carp, Ontario. Carp is in Ottawa, Canada, or about 15 minutes outside of Ottawa. Sorry, my bathroom is a mess today. I have a new plant baby. She's in isolation, so she's hanging out with us today. She's an anthurium. I think I got her at Trillium. I think that's the name of the bakery. I forget what the plant store that's in the bakery is called. Isn't she pretty? I've wanted an anthurium for a really long time. I wanted one of the ones that has really dark leaves. I'm not sure if that's actually a different variety or if the leaves get darker as they get older. I think it's a different variety. But anyways, she's beautiful. I'm so excited. So anyways, I just sprayed her so that hopefully I don't get spider mites. So she's in isolation in my bathroom until she can join the rest of the herd. So she's joining us today. Okay, so the products that we are using on my hair today, I'll bring out my little home salon. She's joining us today. Okay, we are using, I've been playing around with using I Create Volume on my hair, so we're gonna try using I Create Volume again. I recently cut my hair shorter, as you may know if you're not new here. So I have been experimenting with new products and a slightly lower maintenance hair routine because I like slightly less defined hair, slightly, like I'm not as afraid of frizz as when my hair was super long. It really looks like I have a mullet right now. I don't. I like a lot of volume with this hairstyle, so I'm experimenting with a slightly lower maintenance routine because I don't need as much definition. I'm not struggling with frizz as much as I was when my hair was longer, so I'm going to kind of show you that really low maintenance routine that I've been doing with this hairstyle. And also I really like a lot of volume with this hairstyle. My hair gets volume so easily. So I've been going with like lighter weight, lighter hold products. So that's where the I Create Volume comes in. I Create Volume gives a soft hold, gives a lot of volume. It's not super heavy depending on how much of it you use. It's kind of like a gel. They call it a lotion. It's very watery. I use it a lot on my silky, fine-haired clients in the salon in lieu of a gel. But it's not going to give you like multiple days longevity for most people. Some people can get that out of it, but not everybody because it's not a super strong hold gel. So if you naturally have loss of curl, you might still have loss of curl with this product. But then again, if you're having loss of curl because products are weighing down your hair, then you might not have loss of curl with this product. So it depends. It depends. It's a great product, very lightweight. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to use any Serenity Smoothing Cream because I do find this to be a very moisturizing product. Yes, it's nice for thin hair usually, fine hair I should say. I am going to use a little bit of I Create Lift and a little bit of I Create Definition. And I think that's going to be my cocktail today. I think I'm just going to use those 3 products and a little bit of heat protection. I'm going to pull these 2 out. I'm going to use the Hair Love Prep Spray, which is heat protection. Styling Milk. Oh, that's an interesting choice. The Hair Love Prep Spray is kind of a styling milk. Styling milk. I don't hear that term very often. Styling milk. Do you mean like a very light, like milky leave-in conditioner? Like what properties are you looking for it to have? Moisturizing properties? If so, body and style retention. Like, do you want it to have protein in it? Do you want it to have moisturizing properties? Do you want it to be heavy? Do you want it to be light? If you want it to be moisturizing, What would be a moisturizing styling milk? I don't recommend products based on hair type. I don't actually typically recommend products in my lives, guys. First of all, because it would take up the whole live of me just like recommending lives products, and then I wouldn't get on with the hair routine. Second of all, it would I would have to, like, that one person asking for product recommendation, I'd have to stop here and be like, what's your hair type? What's your hair porosity? What are your challenges? What are your goals? Like, it's, what other products are you using? Have you clarified recently? Like, it's not as simple as you think when it comes to recommending products, especially if I'm going to put my name behind recommending the product. Choosing products is actually a challenging thing, which is why you're here asking me for product recommendations. It's why so many people have a graveyard of products in their closet, because choosing products is tricky. It is, and a lot of people, a lot of brands, I should say, they market their products based on curl pattern, wavy, curly, kinky, coily, and guess what? That's not particularly helpful for any of you. What's way more helpful is your hair fine, medium, or thick strands? Not density, not how many hairs are there per square inch on your head, but what is the strand thickness? That is way more important, not your curl pattern. What are your goals for your hair? Do you want your hair to be curlier or less curly? That's relevant when you're choosing your products. What is your strand thickness? Because that'll impact how easily weighed down your hair is. And what are your goals for your hair? Those are two of the most important things. And then how easily does your hair absorb moisture? Does your hair repel moisture, or does it absorb moisture really, really easily? So those are some of the things that you really want to consider when you're choosing products. I would say to take into consideration. Yeah, but beyond that, I don't think I'm gonna like spend too much time recommending individual products here today, because it's just gonna slow down my actual hair routine, and I actually have to get to work today. So let's see. I'm sorry, moisturizing styling milk isn't coming to mind right now. I don't use really a lot of styling milk in the salon. I would have, because you were the first person to ask, I would have recommended one, but I don't have one coming to mind. Okay, so my hair is way too dry. It's like damp right now. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go stick my head under the shower. So I recommend bringing your styling products right into the shower with you. So this step I would recommend doing in the shower so that you don't make a mess the way I'm about to. I'm gonna put in some heat protection. The next product I'm gonna go in with, and I typically go in from the lightest product to the heaviest product. However, I don't know about that today because that is typically what I do, but that goes against what my plan was. So now I'm confused. I was gonna do I create volume first and do I create definition second, but I create volume is gonna be like a little, I'm gonna do I create volume first. And in my hand, I'm going to combine I create volume, which is gonna give me my soft hold, with 1 pump of I create lift, which is gonna give me like a little bit of texture in my hair, which is gonna help, like, because my hair is very silky. If your hair is very, very silky, it feels nice to touch, but it's hard to build volume in very, very silky hair. The volume just like falls out. If you have silky hair, you know what I'm talking about. So having some sort of a product that makes your hair a little bit grittier, like not crazy, but a little bit grittier is gonna help, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna combine those two products in my hand. And start raking those through. And you can see how soaking wet I want my hair to be for this. And the reason for that is A, is gonna help evenly distribute the product through your hair. And B, it's gonna help the hair to more naturally clump so that I don't have to work so hard. Okay, so I added probably a tablespoon of I create volume and 1 pump of I create lift. Now my hair can tolerate a lot of product. Yes, InnerSense is my holy grail as well. There's a lot of products that I use. Now I have to say, I recently started using Lonza a little bit, which Lonza is not, from what I can see, like a curly girl approved brand. They have silicone in their products. I've never used really silicone in my products before, but I've been talking to their chemist about their products. They say that their dimethicone, which is a type of silicone, is proprietary and doesn't build up on their hair. Like it comes out with regular sulfate-free shampoo. So anyways, I've been experimenting with it, which I was very suspicious at first. I'm not a chemist, so like if that's what the chemist says, I don't think, like I'm not a chemist. Anyways, so I have been trying out the products. Like I know what buildup feels like in the hair. So if I use this product for a while and I get buildup in my hair, I'm gonna know, right? So I'm using some more I create volume. So anyways, and they have like heat, all of their products have this, like I'm using, and then maybe another tablespoon or so, another 1 pump of I create lift. And I don't know if it's the Lonza product that I've been using, their healing oil, or I'm also using a Euphora shampoo and conditioner. I don't know if it's that, but I don't think it's that. My hair, I don't know if you heard me talking about it a little while ago, my hair has been like kind of, I've had this like thick, kind of a little bit coarse patch at the back of my head that I've been struggling with, and my hair has been really struggling to retain moisture. And my hair has really changed in the last 2 weeks. I've really noticed the change. So anyways, TBD, I'm gonna continue to monitor it. My hair feels really soft, it feels really good, and I'm not using a ton of their products right now. Really just their healing oil that I've been using. I straightened my hair the last few days, and usually my hair gets really dry a few days into having flat iron, like within 48 hours of having flat ironed it, and I used their healing oil. And I think this is, I mean, as curly girls, most of us don't use silicones. And this is kind of like the pros and cons of using silicones, right? So what silicones do, if you're not familiar and you just haven't used silicones are kind of like a raincoat. This is why we don't use them. When you use silicones, moisture can't pass through. It creates a barrier. So if silicones build up on your hair stops being able to receive moisture and your hair gets really dry. And so that's why a lot of curly girls don't use silicones. But the other side to that is if you use a silicone in your hair, it will also trap moisture into your hair longer. So your hair doesn't get dry as quickly if your hair was moisturized on wash day. And that has been my experience with the Lonza products, is when I use their healing oil, my hair stays looking and feeling moisturized for more days after my wash day before I feel like I need to refresh it because it's starting to look dehydrated. So anyways, my hair has been doing really well with the Lonza products. And I'm not feeling like there's buildup on my hair. And I've been using it now for, I'd say, about 6 weeks. So you would think that at this point I would be starting to sense a little bit of a change in my hair for the worse if I was using, a product that was building up significantly. So anyways, I'm going to continue to use these products and report back because I am curious about being able to, especially for people who live in climates that would benefit from being able to use silicones, like high humidity climates, which Ontario can be at times, people who have very frizzy hair or very dry hair, like people who wash their hair super, super frequently, like my athletes, stuff like that. I think there's certainly a time and a place that a silicone product can be appropriate if it's not building up beyond your next shampoo. Anyways, I don't know what you guys think about something like that. I have found it really interesting. I'm always open to learn. And I can't deny my hair is actually healthier than it's been in a really long time. It's gone against everything I thought I knew. Kind of interesting. Okay, so I just did 4 pumps of Eye Create Definition. I feel like maybe this is going to be too much hair product, but we're going to find out. So the reason I top it with Eye Create Definition, let's talk about that. Because I have styled my hair with just the Eye Create volume in the past, and I get great day one results. However, what I find with my hair is the results are very soft, and they don't last past day one. And that's pretty much always true when I used soft hold products in my hair. The curl will last usually, but the definition doesn't really last. Okay. There's starting to be a lot of product in my hair. I think I used a little bit too much Eye Create volume. Okay, yeah, because the product's like not even getting absorbed anymore. Okay, so the Eye Create volume is very watery. That's one of the reasons my hair. So interestingly, with my other product blend, I would never have been able to re-wet my hair with a spray bottle. I would have had to so I always re-wet hair after I apply styling products, by the way, because my next step is my styling step. And the styling step is where I actually start making sure the hair is clumped and everything. And with my old products lineup or the old state of my hair, I don't really know which it is, I would have always put my head back under the faucet, but it's either this product combination or I think it's the change in the health of my hair. I think I can get away with just using a spray bottle. I don't know, we're gonna see. Because of the way I'm styling my hair, I might not be able to get away with it. We'll see. So you can see how much the hair is already clumping into really juicy clumps. Like it's not overly stringy. That's what I'm looking for. If your hair is not in juicy clumps like that, then I would put your head like back under a shower head on a drizzle. Don't worry about rinsing the product out of your hair. Just put the shower head on a drizzle. Okay, so now I'm going to go like this. I usually like to brush my hair at least once. I might take a wide tooth comb today for this. So this is where my routine is changing up a little bit. Usually I would rake and shake my whole head. But since my hair is shorter, Voss the Curl Boss. Yeah, she's awesome. I'm a hairstylist though. I'm a curly hairstylist, but I do love Voss the Curl Boss. I follow her and I have learned a lot from her. Okay, so I'm just kind of raking with my hands and scrunching, raking with my hands and scrunching all along the back. I'm going to take a section here to pull it up because I don't want everything to be flat against my head. So I'm taking a wide tooth comb, and I might actually take my Denman brush now if I can find it. Ooh. Nice and organized for the live this morning. You're welcome, everyone. Here it is. Okay, so I'm going to take my Denman brush. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, and it's pretty much only now that I'm going to start working with this top section for the rake and shake method. But everything up until now, it's just been like, everything up until now, it's just been like kind of shaping it. Like, but I'm skipping the rake and shake from all of that. But yeah, guys, if any of you are looking for more ideas on how to combine products with InnerSense, Voss the Curl Boss, she is awesome. I think she's on TikTok and Instagram. Okay, so again, you can see how wet my hair is. So everything up until now, I would recommend doing it in your shower. So if your hair is long, like very long, I would skip that step. I would do your whole head in rake and shake. I think it's easier when you have long hair. When your hair is short like mine, or shorter than mine, I would highly recommend just work with soaking wet hair, and either just use your Denman brush and kind of like brush out and scrunch, or you can use a wide tooth comb to kind of brush out and scrunch, depending on your hair type. But you can see how I have these like very juicy, not stringy ringlets. That's sufficient for me because I actually like my hair to be like a little bit juicy, but a little bit frizzy. If my hair with this hairstyle is too frizz-free, I feel like Shirley Temple. So I don't mind a little bit of frizz with this hairstyle. Well, if I don't mind a little bit of frizz, what is the point in me going through and rake and shaking that whole underneath section? You get me? Okay, so now Right away I can see that piece was not coming together nicely, so I'm going to add more water. Brush through it again. I have a crown right here, so I'm actually just going to finger curl this section. Gotta love your crown. A crown is where there's like a split in the hair direction, by the way. And they could be tricky areas of your head to style. Okay. This area right above it should be a little bit easier. I just literally put my diamond brush under a spray of water to make sure this section is nice and wet. Now I'm going to rake my fingers through like that, give it a little skipping rope section, drop it and kind of scrunch like that and let it fall. Okay, and now everything else I'm going to start to style forward. I might actually start at the front and then work back. Okay, that I just brushed. I like lots of volume, so I'm kind of brushing at an upward angle, raking my fingers through. There's different lengths here, so I'm going to let that drop. And then I'm going to brush this into two sections and give that a little shake as it falls. Okay, take the next section from over here. So somebody asked, how long does it take me to do my hair? I don't know, this is kind of my first time doing this hybrid method. So, I don't know how long it's going to take me. Always longer when I'm on these lives. These days when I've just been styling my hair for myself, like when I'm not going to the salon or anything, honestly, I've been getting my hair soaking wet, applying my products, adding water again, scrunching, and I can honestly probably air dry this hairstyle because I get volume so easily that I can air dry it and get a ton of volume as long as I don't touch it during the air dry process. When it comes to air dry versus diffusing, okay, let's talk about that. If you want more volume, more curl, or less frizz, diffusing is a really good idea. If your hair takes more than 3 hours to air dry and you want more curl, more volume, or less frizz, I would highly recommend experimenting at least partially with diffusing your hair. But if you are not struggling with any of those things, then you might be a good candidate for air drying your hair. And lately with this hairstyle, I'm not struggling with the amount of curl I'm getting, I'm not struggling with the amount of volume I'm getting, and I'm not struggling with the amount of frizz I'm getting. So all of a sudden, for the first time really in my entire life, I've been not a bad candidate for air drying. My hair also is drying faster than it used to. So partially because of its length. So yeah, we're in Ontario, I am. I'm located just outside of Ottawa, Canada. I just don't understand why all the curly girls want us to see them wash their hair. Well, I mean, if you don't find this helpful, you can scroll on. I'm a hairstylist, I'm a curly hairstylist. So I do my routine every Wednesday morning so that people can learn from it. My clients find it very helpful, but it sounds like you don't, so I encourage you to scroll. What is your advice to someone who has thin curly hair that gets weighed down easily and hates the feeling of product in your hair? I only use leave-in because I don't like the feeling of product in your hair. You don't have to feel product in your hair. If you're using product that is the correct weight for your hair, once you scrunch out the crunchy cast, you won't feel product in your hair anymore. Like if your hair feels crunchy, then once your hair is 100% dry, just scrunch it until that feeling goes away. If you're still feeling product in your hair, then the products you're using are too heavy for your hair. But I mean, most of my clients can attest to the fact that by the time their hair is fully styled, they shouldn't feel product in their hair, especially if they have told me that they don't like the feeling of product in their hair. If they haven't told me that up front, then maybe I have used different products that might help them achieve volume or different things like that, so maybe they can still feel product in their hair. But if you have told me it's important to me that I don't feel product in my hair, then you will leave my salon feeling like you don't have product in your hair. But I'm going to use more than leave-in conditioner. You don't need to stick to only leave-in conditioner in order to not feel product in your hair. But that is a common misconception. You're in Toronto. I actually have clients from Toronto. Usually, if you have like family in, like I have a client from Markham who has a son who lives in Ottawa. So she just comes and gets her haircut every time she comes to visit her son. I also have clients from Nova Scotia who have like, who has a sister in Ottawa, and just every time she, comes to visit her sister, she gets her haircut. I mean, you only need your haircut every 4 months, right? I've got very fine hair. The trick is lots of water when applying, then scrunch out the crunch. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Joy. Always a pleasure. Okay. Okay guys, so that's the full, okay, so I'm done styling. Now I'm just gonna scrunch my hair. Do I have a towel I can scrunch with? I prefer a cotton t-shirt. What is the salon called? My niece is in university in Ottawa. See people, 6 degrees of separation. Everyone's secretly finding out who they know in Ottawa. My salon is called Curlology. It's linked in my bio on all 3 platforms right now. And it's just 15 minutes outside of Ottawa in a little town called Carp. It is very cute. We are right beside a great little ice cream shop and a great cafe. And there is also a really wonderful restaurant that I highly recommend you make a reservation at, because they don't really take walk-ins because they're that good. The restaurant is called The Cat. That's what, okay, the locals call it The Cat. I'm trying to remember what it's actually called. The Cheshire Cat. It's a very cool, like, Irish pub. The Cheshire Cat. Oh, we got locals in here. I was just there like 2 days ago, but we all call it The Cat. The Cheshire Cat. But yeah, the Carp Creamery is right next to us. Alice's pub is right next, or sorry, Alice's coffee shop is right next to us, which is an awesome coffee shop. It's a very, very cute small town vibe, but like, I don't know, everything is really nice. Like you're gonna come in and be like, this is really nice. It is really nice. Yeah, very relaxing, very spa-like environment. Worth the drive. Okay, so take your microfiber towel, or I actually recommend a cotton t-shirt. I know I'm using a microfiber towel, but for most of you, you're gonna love using a cotton t-shirt, okay? So by the way, I know I talked about putting your styling products on in the shower. If you're gonna do your styling step, get out of the shower for that, like for the rake and shake method. I recommend doing that in front of a mirror. Don't make your life more difficult than it needs to be. I didn't really go through in detail the rake and shake method too much, but I do have tons of tutorials on how to do that on my Instagram page, and I think my TikTok as well. In particular, I have lots of tips of like mistakes people always make. If you've ever tried it in the past and you're like, this doesn't work for my hair, go check out my mistakes that people make, because I bet you're gonna feel like I'm talking directly to you. Okay, so notice how I'm scrunching the hair, but I'm not over scrunching. Like we're pretty much done. One thing I see people doing all the time is excessively scrunching their hair. It's not necessarily a mistake if you want huge hair and you're like, I don't care about frizz, I just want my hair to be huge, then it's not a mistake. You like those results. But if you're complaining to me about frizz, like 3-4 scrunches, you're good. We just want to get rid of the excess frizz. So the excess water, not the excess frizz. Okay. This is my Life-In. I think the sale is over. It was just on sale for Mother's Day, but the sale's probably over now. Okay. I'm gonna start by hover diffusing. Not just yet, 1 second. Do you see this? I have a crown right there. And it likes to part. So if you have curly bangs, and you're like me, and your hair likes to part right there, you gotta get root clips. Game changer, because otherwise they're always gonna part on you. So I like to add 2 little clips there before I start diffusing my bangs. Okay, there we go. Now I can start doing my bangs. Okay, I'm just gonna clump that hair back together. There. So I'm gonna start, there's 2 main diffusing techniques. The first one is called hover diffusing, and that's where you literally hover the hair like this. I like to hover diffuse my bangs for a couple of minutes before I move to the next technique. Hover diffusing creates the least amount of frizz, but it doesn't do anything to encourage volume, and it doesn't do anything to encourage your curl. So I like to hover diffuse my bangs so that I get, okay, cool, cool. Okay, 1 second. Just a little bit of chaos going on with my bangs right now. I don't know why these don't want to stay in today. Okay, so if they won't stay in one direction, I usually go in from the other direction. There. See, now they'll stay. And that seems to be fine. Okay. So, 2 main diffusing techniques, hover diffusing and pixie diffusing. Pixie diffusing is probably what you're more used to seeing, where you literally like cut the hair. I like to just start with my bangs like this so that I can close the crown that I have right there and make sure I like where my bangs are falling. If I immediately go into like flipping my hair back and forth, by the time I'm done diffusing my bangs, they are going to be all over the place. Hi, Joy. If you don't have root clips at home, you can use your hands to literally like hold your bangs where you want them. Or the other alternative is you can just diffuse your bangs, diffuse all of your hair, and then re-wet your bangs at the end. If you have a cowlick at your bang and just do your bangs once all the rest of your hair is dry. If you have a cowlick in your bangs and you finish diffusing the rest of your bangs and you re-wet the rest of your hair and you re-wet your hair, but the cowlick is now like being really stubborn and you can't get it to do what you want it to do, take a little bit of shampoo over the cowlick and rinse it out, and that should break the cowlick. I think I'm gonna leave this clip in for a second. Now I'm gonna go into pixie diffusing. I switched this on to the automatic heat cycling mode. And now I'm gonna pixie diffuse, holding positions for 15 to 20 seconds. Now, the idea behind holding positions for 15 to 20 seconds is I don't want to create too much frizz, and my hair is still pretty wet. So if you put your hair upside, so how long you hold positions for is going to depend on how quickly your hair dries. If your hair takes less than 10 minutes to diffuse, you probably want to start with pixie diffusing. If your hair takes longer than 10 minutes to diffuse, you probably want to start with cover diffusing, in my experience. Otherwise, your hair will get frizzy. So I like to start with cover diffusing, then I switch to pixie diffusing, and I hold positions for about 20 seconds because my hair takes about 20 to 30 minutes to diffuse. So let's talk about hair porosity. This is a real buzzword. You've probably heard about porosity online if you've been like part of the curly girl community. So does porosity matter? Okay, so first of all, what is porosity? Porosity is the rate of absorption, the rate that your hair can absorb moisture. Okay, so does it matter? Is it something that you need to know? I have mixed feelings about it. I think so much about learning your wavy and curly, kinky, coily hair can already be quite confusing. I don't know that your porosity is the first thing that you need to know. I just don't. Thank you so much for the roses. It is helpful to understand whether or not your hair easily absorbs moisture or whether or not it doesn't. If your hair does not easily absorb moisture, the first thing I would do would be clarify your hair with a good quality clarifying shampoo. Like double clarify and do that once a month at least. Okay, it is important that you do that at least once a month, okay? You don't need to do it every shampoo. Don't do it every shampoo. But it needs to be good quality clarifying shampoo. And if you have hard water, or if you swim in a pool with chlorine a lot, make sure the shampoo, the clarifying shampoo, caters to that. A scalp scrub is not a clarifying shampoo. Apple cider vinegar is not a clarifying shampoo. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. Apple cider vinegar is not a clarifying shampoo. I don't know why people online say it is. When people come into my salon and they tell me they have been clarifying with apple cider vinegar, they have buildup on their hair. 10 times out of 10. 11 times out of 10. I can feel it on their hair. And then when I clarify their hair afterwards, they can feel the difference. Okay? So, if your hair is struggling to absorb moisture, clarify your hair. If your hair is struggling to absorb moisture, does it mean you have buildup on your hair? Not necessarily. It could be your natural porosity. It could be your hair is super healthy. Super healthy hair. Can be a little bit more resistant to absorbing moisture and can really retain moisture very well. It doesn't want to release moisture. It holds on to it. Okay? So it's slow to absorb it, but it's also slow to release it. That's called low porosity hair. Okay? High porosity hair sucks up moisture very quickly, but it also gets dry quickly. So do you need to know your hair's porosity? The reason I say not really is because it can be very hard to figure out what your hair porosity is. Part of the reason for that is not everybody is high or low porosity. There are a lot of people in the chaotic middle. There are a lot of people with blended porosities. There are a lot of people with some sections that are high porosity and some sections that are low porosity. There are a lot of people with a mix, like they have some silver hair and some of their original hair color still, and that causes a mix of porosities on their head, so they're sitting here like, I don't know what my porosity is. So do you need to know what your hair porosity is? No. You can get by not knowing what it is. Does your hairstylist need to know what your porosity is? Yeah, they should. It's helpful for them to know what your porosity is. But do you need to know? You can get by not knowing. If your hair is extremely low, is baking soda with shampoo a good clarifier? It is a very harsh clarifier. That's what I would say. It will clarify your hair, so will Dawn dish soap, but it will leave your hair very dry. Very, very dry. Like, it's very harsh. So if you have the money, which not everyone does, I can recognize that, I would highly, highly recommend buying a clarifying shampoo instead. And baking soda in shampoo is not something I would recommend once a month. It's too harsh on your hair and you are going to start to damage your hair. If you cannot, if it is not in the budget to get a clarifying shampoo, doing that one time, okay. Doing it more than once, I would not do. And use a very small amount of baking soda. But it's not, I'm certainly not recommending it. Good question though. I think I've done it on my hair before. Again, I'm not recommending it. You feel like it feels sticky after scrunching out the crunch. I'm assuming I'm not using enough water either. So the clarifying shampoo I recommend is Malibu Sea. They have Undo Goo if you just need it for like a basic clarifying shampoo, for product buildup or like general buildup. If you have hard water, use their hard water wellness. If you have kids in swimming lessons, get their swimmer's wellness. That's one that you can use a little bit more frequently, like use it every time they go to their swimming lesson. If every time you scrunch out the crunch, your hair feels sticky, like it feels like you're not able to scrunch out the crunch, I have two things. One, are you air drying? Because it can be very hard for the cast to get fully dry when you're air drying. So, okay, first of all, it's not fully dry. If you're scrunching it out and it feels sticky, it's not fully dry. So grab a diffuser and diffuse it. Because it's not, when you're scrunching it out and it's sticky, it's not fully dry. Now, if you're not able to get it fully dry, it's too heavy for your hair. Hands down. This is not the right product for your hair. Give it away. This is not the right product for your hair. Absolutely not. It's not necessarily a bad product. I don't know what you're using, but it is not, your hair is saying, I don't like this product. And it could be the gel, or it could be what you're putting under the gel. Sometimes people use like the Moroccan oil curl cream under the Diva Curl Ultra Gel, and they've got like this babyest fine hair, and that Moroccan oil curl cream is really heavy. It's way too heavy for their hair. Diva Curl Gel is not heavy, but the Moroccan oil curl cream is heavy. So then they're not able to scrunch out the Diva Curl Gel is a bad example because it doesn't really get a strong cast, but maybe the Wedad gel, let's say. The Wedad gel is not particularly heavy, but they're not able to scrunch out the crunch because the Moroccan oil curl cream is too heavy. So maybe the gel is not the problem, maybe your curl cream is the problem, and that's that's causing you to not be able to scrunch at the front of the gel. So I would try just using the gel one time and see if you still can't scrunch at the front. And if not, then the gel is the problem. It's too heavy for your hair. Is there a color line? Is there a hair color line that's better for curlies? No, you're fine to use any color line. There's, like, you'd have to have your hair assessed individually to see if there's specific coloring techniques that are best for your hair. Some people, like, most curlies are fine to color their hair. Like, are gonna be totally okay coloring their hair. Most curlies, a lot of curly girls can even highlight their hair. Like, maybe you don't want to do like an all-over highlight. Maybe you don't want to be like bleach blonde. But like getting a few, like a little bit of dimension thrown in there shouldn't be a huge problem. Like hand-painted highlights for most curlies, especially if you're just getting them lightly. Sorry, one second, I'm talking too much. One second. If you're just having them lightened like a few levels, oh, box dye is going to make a difference. Sorry, let me be very clear. Salon is going to make a difference. Guys, hairstylists are not lying to you when we say box dye is not good for your hair. There is a difference between box dye and salon. First of all, box dye is not regulated in the same way that salon quality is regulated. Second of all, if you box dye your hair every time, you're like, especially when you do your refresh all over with box dye, ooh, you're putting permanent color all over on your ends where there is already color. That's so hard on your hair. Versus when you go into a salon, we're only going to put permanent color here, and then we're going to put an acidic color with no ammonia through your ends to refresh it usually. Or a low ammonia solution through your ends. Something much gentler through your ends. Versus when you do box dye, you put the same thing all over every time you do your full color. Some people box dye sometimes just do the roots, which is great, but every time you go to do your refresh, your full color, you're pulling it all the way through your ends, and you're going to damage your hair. Don't even get me started on when people do henna. But yeah, so generally there isn't like a salon brand that's the best for your hair, but definitely if you have curly hair, I wouldn't use box dye. But you can go to like Sally's and you can buy salon quality color to do at home. if you're on a budget. Okay. I don't know, this was a very low maintenance way for me to do my hair, guys, and I'm feeling stressed. I'm not a low maintenance girly. I don't like this curl at all. So when I don't like a curl, my hair's not 100% dry yet. So I'm gonna take this and I'm literally just gonna re-wet this curl and reshape it so that it's all going the same direction. There we go. Okay, and then just to catch that up with the rest of it, I'm gonna have her diffuse that. Oh, I was running the sink to re-wet that curl. Nope. I don't have very much volume today. I wonder if I just put too much product in my hair. Okay, 1 second. This is what's gonna happen. I pin curled it. Okay, so the products that I used today, I used I Create Volume, which is like a lotion. I used probably about 3 tablespoons of that, which I think was too much, with 2 or 3 pumps of I Create Lift. I probably could have just used like 1.5 tablespoons of I Create Volume with just like 1.5 to 2 pumps of I Create Lift. And then I used about 4 pumps of I Create Definition. And underneath that, sorry, the very first product I went in with was a heat protection. I used about 5 sprays of Hair Love Cup Spray. I styled on soaking wet hair. And then I kind of like raked the product through to let the bottom clump naturally, and then I did the rake and shake method on the top section of my hair. And then I have one wonky curl right there that I'm pin curling right now because it's a very visible curl. You can see it's pin curled in there. I re-wet it and now I'm pin curling it. YouTube is facing downward. As your hair gets more dry, you can be a lot less precious with it during the diffusing process. Thanks, Pamela. So as you're at the beginning of the diffusing process, I'm really holding position for like 20 seconds. Now my hair is pretty dry, so I can move the diffuser a lot more frequently. My bangs are less curly than last week. I did straighten my hair this week. Also, I think I used a little too much product. I think it has more to do with me using too much product. Have I used the Lust products? No, I haven't been using them a lot lately. I find I've been getting more longevity out of my style with the Innersense products. They refresh better. I do like the Lust gel though. Okay, so let's go in here. This piece does not want to curl. This piece might be getting a curling iron today. It does not want to curl. Hopefully I didn't heat damage it when I flat ironed my hair. I'm new to Innersense and I am in love with everything. Yesterday I used the Lust. My first curl products I used and I got fantastic curls, but in a few hours I was like, the curls fell out. Oh, that's so interesting. What Innersense products have you been using? So the Lust products are very soft hold. Like the gel is medium hold. The all-in-one is like a soft hold. And I would say all of their all-in-ones are quite heavy. The all-in-one for wavy hair is like a medium heaviness, and the other ones are relatively heavy, in my opinion. They're very good for hair that like loves moisture and is quite dry. That's the type of hair that loves the Lust all-in-ones. Yes, I forgot they were a soft hold even though it felt like I had a ton of product in. Yeah, so the hold doesn't change no matter how much product you use. The hold of a product is the hold of a product. So you can use a little bit of a product or a lot of a product and you're not going to change the hold. Like the eye create definition is an extremely strong hold product. You can use one pump of it and it's a strong hold product. Eye create lift on the other hand, soft hold. Eye create volume, soft hold. My hair feels weird today. I think I used too much eye create volume. I don't know, guys. I don't know about this wash day. I mean, don't get me wrong, it feels very soft, but or maybe too much eye create lift. I used too much of something. I think I'm gonna have to touch it up with a curling iron. Oh yeah, the eye create hold gel is very thick. So a tip with the eye create hold gel by Intersense, emulsify it with water in your hand before you put it in your hair, if you find it thick. Or you can literally combine it in your hand with eye create volume with water and then put it in your hair. The thing with Intersense is you can cocktail their products. So you can combine two of their products in your hand with water or without water before you put them in your hair. And they work really, really well like that. So if you want the benefits of one product with the benefits of another product, to change the consistency of the product, you can totally do that. Oh my God, I am not into my hair today. What happened? We're gonna see if we can salvage this. This is so funny. Well, okay. Aside from this piece, my hair is not usually different. I usually have very consistent results, as you guys know if you have been in my lives before. To be fair, I did try a very different routine today, which is unusual for me. Let's see what's going on in the back. Okay, I do like the back. Okay, this is salvageable. The question is, do I just use a curling iron to fix this, or do I try to... No, I think I can fix this. Okay, it's actually not as bad as I thought. I kind of like what's going on here. It's got a lot of volume. It's kind of cute. This piece just does not want to play ball. I think it just doesn't have any eye create definition in it. And I think it has too much eye create volume. So... So I took a pump of eye create definition. A whole pump is a lot for one little piece of hair. So I'm going to scrunch the rest of it into the hair around it. Okay. Now I'm going to, how does this want to curl? Give it a little shake. Okay, now we're starting to get some curl in there. And I think here, so I think I should have used a few more pumps of I Create Definition styling foam. So I'm gonna do 2, 3. I took 3 pumps of I Create Definition styling foam. I'm literally gonna wet it down in my hands. And kind of scrunch it anywhere where the hair looks too fluffy for my taste in my hair. I like more definition than that. Okay. Well, this is a good example of how to fix your hair when you hate it, when you're done styling it. Okay, so then I'm literally, just because I Create Definition is pretty intense to put on dry hair, I'm just gonna mist that down a little bit. So is this gonna make my hair a little bit more frizzy? Potentially, but again, I don't mind a little bit of frizz, and I have none right now. Okay, so basically, what I didn't like about it, by the way, it's already looking better. Oh my God, can you tell? It's already looking so much better. So that one piece that was like not curling for me, it was so elongated. I don't know what's happening. It was like poofy, it had no definition, it had no curl. So I know a stronger hold product and water will help encourage that curl. So I wet it down, I added I Create Definition, and I started like scrunching it, and it started coming back. So I think what happened is it got way too much I Create volume, so it was weighed down. And I Create volume doesn't do anything to give it definition or anything like that, so it was just weighed down and poofy. So I think that's what happened with that piece. So already, honestly, if I was gonna be at home, I would probably let it air dry from here, but I have to go to work. So I'm gonna go right in here where that curl was not curling, and I'm gonna actually diffuse it on high heat for a second to really encourage that curl that did not wanna curl, okay? So what I have learned from this is the cocktail of products that I use. I do like using the I Create Volume and I Create Lift, because I can't use I Create Definition on its own, but I would use less of the I Create Definition and I Create Lift and I Create Volume and more of the I Create Definition. Yeah, this is an Infinity Mister. There's all sorts. This is the Lush Brands one, but you can buy them anywhere. You can get them on Amazon. Oh, guys, so much better. So much better immediately. Anyways, I hope this was helpful actually. Like, if you don't like how your wash day turns out, you're not married to the result. Like, give yourself an extra 2 minutes. Don't just put it up in a messy bun. And if you just put too much product in your hair, which can often happen, stick your head back under the shower. Like, if your hair looks heavy or greasy when you're done styling, put your head back under the shower, and that will just dilute the product. You don't have to start again from scratch. Just rinse out like 50% of the product, re-scrunch your hair, and if you have to air dry and then micro pop, take your cotton t-shirt and micro pop, and even if you have to air dry from there at that point, But at least your hair won't be like heavy or greasy looking, and you'll get a few days out of it. This piece still is not curling great, but it's curling better than it was. I'm so curious to see how this turns out in the end. Did I salvage it or did I make it worse? I think the next time I did my hair, a couple of things I learned. One, use less I create volume and I create lift and more I create definition. Two, I think I'm gonna try not rake and shaking the top. I think it just elongates my curl. Because it's much curlier underneath, which my hair does do anyways. But when my hair was longer, I struggled with frizz, so the rake and shake method helped me with the frizz. But with this hairstyle, I do like a little bit of frizz. So if you're not struggling with frizz at all, and you're not struggling with stringiness, which the I Create Volumes kind of solves the stringiness issue for me, yeah, you always want to think about what are the challenges I'm having with my routine. And when you're building your routine, you want to solve those challenges. Okay, I need a little bit of an oil. I'm going to use this Lonza Healing Oil, which I'm loving for breaking my cast. I use a very small amount because I have way too strong a cast right now from the I Create Definition because I put it on dry hair. That's not how you're meant to use I Create Definition, by the way. I was just trying to save my hair. But already I'm liking it a lot better. If you're struggling to break your cast, use a little bit of a shine serum or a hair oil, something like that, and it will help you break that cast. And then keep diffusing. Clap, by the way, a really strong cast clapping is a great way to break a cast. Okay, let's see if it looks better or worse. Oh, I like it so much better now. Oh my God. Okay, so I don't know if there's anybody who was here a few minutes ago, but I had just finished diffusing and I like brought my head up and I hated my hair. I was like, what just happened? Which I know that can happen to a lot of people where you have really inconsistent wash days, but that doesn't happen to me. Like, I'm a curly hairstylist. I have very consistent wash days, but I have been trying a new product lineup. I was trying a new product lineup and I really messed up the combination of products that I wanted to, like I used too much of one product, not enough of another, and I just didn't like the combination and it didn't work. And that happens sometimes, right? So anyways, I was able to save it. I scrunched in the eye create definition foam, which I do sometimes if I don't have enough definition in my hair, but it gives you a really strong cast. So I don't know that I'd necessarily recommend it for most people. I don't even have any texture spray, anything in my hair, and I feel like I have so much volume. Okay. Yay! Okay, I'm very excited. Now I just need to get a little comb. I just like to brush out this bottom area a little bit more so it looks more full. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I love it. So the products that we use today are, we use the Eye Create Volume by InnerSense, and I cocktailed that with Eye Create Lift. What I would recommend using next time, my hair can tolerate a lot of product, so maybe 2 tablespoons of Eye Create Volume with maybe 1 or 2 pumps of Eye Create Lift, and then about like 5 pumps of Eye Create Definition, maybe even 6 pumps of Eye Create Definition. Now, Eye Create Definition is this very strong product, so that is a lot of product. There's a lot of people out there who could do like a tablespoon of Eye Create Volume as their entire product. I didn't use any creams on my hair. Eye Create Volume is very moisturizing and I don't struggle a ton with frizz right now. If you struggled with frizz, you might use something like a little bit of a very light cream with Eye Create Volume or a little bit of a very light cream with Eye Create Definition. So I'm taking a comb like that and I'm kind of brushing out that bottom area so it's not quite as defined. And that kind of gives it an appearance. Do you see how that makes it look more full at the bottom there? There we go. Gets rid of some of the definition just to make it look like my hair is thicker down there. Because obviously I have layers cut in there, so the hair is not as thick. There we go, all done. Okay, I'm on my way to work now. I work at a salon called Curlology in Carp. The link is in my bio if you're interested in booking an appointment, but otherwise I hope you learned something today. I go live every single Wednesday with usually a full hair routine, and I hope to see you next Wednesday. Bye guys.